All right, so episode 2 of season 8 officially.
Let's
in
get
the
right
bag.
into it.
Man, we had to do the thing for the station yesterday, so I didn't even get to watch this until I had to watch the 11 o'clock show, and I'm exhausted.
Oh,
yeah.
first world problems.
I had to not get on Facebook because I just knew people wanted to spoil it, and I saw several. It was like Blank's return, shocking, yada yada yada, and I was like, nope, and I just kept scrolling.
Did you love Blank?
No, that's the character that I honestly. I mean, it's cool to see a season 1 character come back, but I honestly.
I
was really stoked to see Merle return.
It was.
When he came in, he had his big harpoon hand. I was like, oh,
how
man.
many more things can they add on to that hand?
Yeah, I know.
Amazing.
I know. It's a egg beater. It does all kinds of stuff.
It slices, it dices, it makes julienne fries.
Yep.
But so
it's
yeah,
have Merle back. Yeah,
it's good to have. No, Morales is back. The character that I mean, he had a small following, I guess. That was I really want to see him come back, but I mean,
but really, no one wants.
From what I've read, I mean, this guy pretty much is back because he led his own campaign to bring Morales back. It's I really need work. Bring me back.
What'd he say? It's not. It's been a long time or something.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
From what I understand, that's how Norman Reedus stayed on the show so long, because initially, right, they wanted to kill him off, but he just got such a following on Facebook and everything.
I heard he just wouldn't leave the set.
Yeah, they were like, Norman, we need you to go.
He's like, nah, I ain't got nowhere to go, man.
Your character disappears in this scene and he never comes back.
I'll eat dog food, whatever you want me to do, just let me stay.
I'll never do that to my fans. But yeah, so it definitely was an action-packed episode. I will say this much. I enjoyed the episode, but I could definitely... Does this make any sense? And probably not, because I'm saying it.
Let's find out.
It was action-packed, but it still felt kind of slow for an action-packed episode.
JP, does that make sense?
Yeah, in its own way, sure.
Okay.
I was definitely pissed off.
Okay. Oh.
Why were you pissed off?
I was pissed off. I still am pissed off.
Why?
Well, they should have opened with Negan and Morgan in that trailer. I mean, they left. You
Not
leave a
Morgan.
cliffhanger.
Negan and
who was it?
Gabriel.
Right. Of course.
I would like to know.
I don't see how I got those two confused, but
they both have the letter G in their name.
Right, of course. But Gabriel. Yeah, I mean, that's what they should have opened with. Don't leave us with a cliffhanger and then do your same dirty stuff.
Not gonna lie to you, completely forgot that's what they left off on the first episode until you just mentioned it there. I did realize, I was like, oh, there was no Negan in this episode. But did not think about the fact that, what's going on with Father Gabriel?
I was in the first 30 minutes, I'm like, please show us what happened with Father Gabriel.
I was too busy watching Morgan do his best John Wick impression. That was amazing.
Yeah, I thought for a second he was going to come out and shoot his, he was back in his rage mode where he just wanted to kill everyone that moved. And I was like, oh God, he's going to go out and shoot Jesus or something.
Rick with the baby. I was just just shoot it, Rick. Just do it. You can't leave anyone alive.
I think he's definitely fighting a relapse. That's for sure.
No doubt. No doubt.
When he comes outside, the sun is shining. You get that feeling. He's like, oh, crap, I've just been brought out of a certain trance.
He's got that itch. He's got it bad, baby.
He was scratching the hell out of that itch.
I mean, he was just like the Terminator walking through there, man. It was crazy. But, I don't know. My question was, so they never really told us who that guy was that they were chasing. Ezekiel, I'm guessing it was just some random savior at an
Shiva's
outpost
dinner,
or something.
That's all I know.
Yeah, because I was like, did I miss something? Because am I supposed to know who this guy is? Or
is it really a good idea to keep giving Shiva the taste of human flesh?
Is that the same thing? So now what's going to happen when she gets hungry and you don't have any enemies? Oh God, Daryl, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Daryl would eat Shiva, though. What are we talking about? Daryl would just Funk. And the realism of the combat and stuff isn't that big a deal because it's a show about zombies eating people. But I'm the whole time Daryl's helping him raid this place. I'm like, Daryl, the crossbow is so impractical for this scenario.
When he came to the door and it's what are you gonna do? There's 5 guys there. Boom, you just get the most important one. I don't know who you would shoot.
It's like Call of Duty when you round the corner and it's 3 people and you're like, I'm just gonna pick one.
just walks in the room. Looks like we've got ourselves a standoff here, boys.
And they're like,
no, we don't. No,
you are in no way. I mean, unless you hit me in the face, there's a pretty good chance that bolt won't even kill me. So
it needs from Robin Hood Men in Tights where he unfolds the thing and it's 5 bows, 5 arrows tied to each other, and you can just shoot those.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah, I at what point it's I told my girlfriend last night. I was like, man, I get that it's his iconic weapon and all of that, but at some point you got to just put it down and be like, all right, we'll bring it out on special occasion, or maybe when he's zombie hunting, or when he's on stealth missions or whatever. But I mean, dude, you're in a full combat situation against people with fully automatic weapons, I don't think a crossbow is really the most ideal thing.
He's been playing pretend too much. He's like getting his little paint on like under his eyes. So like, what are you doing, man? I'm going on some night missions tonight. I'm going on some stealth missions. He's just like rolling around like, Daryl, stop.
Well, I mean, we don't see Michonne in these battles walking around with her sword. Like, if she'd have been Rick, she'd have been creeping around with her sword. I mean, they give her guns when she goes to combat because, I mean, but again, I get what it's his iconic weapon. They got to use it, whatnot.
Yeah.
But it definitely was an action-packed episode. So Eric is on his way out, I'm assuming. I'm
surprised it didn't happen this episode.
Aaron's boyfriend you're talking about? Yeah.
When he made that look at him toward the beginning of the episode when they kind of looked at each other, I was like, what are they setting up?
Well, see, that's what my girlfriend said, and this is all just a matter of opinion. But she said last night that's pretty much her biggest complaint with the show is she still enjoys it, but that. Like, they just, like Jerry, they kept showing Jerry with Ezekiel being brave. And she's like, I guarantee you Jerry will die in the next few episodes. If he doesn't this episode. Then with Aaron and Eric, when they looked at each other, same thing. It was like, oh, he's going to die. And it's like, and then they end up dying. And you're like, wow, man, they just really, Game of Thrones, people die. And you're like, what just happened? On The Walking Dead, you pretty much can call it. I mean, episodes ahead. So if I still had one big complaint with the show, that'd probably be like, stop making your death so predictable.
If I had to hedge a bet, I think Jerry's going to outlive Ezekiel. I don't know, man.
You think so? I feel like he's going to take Richard's place in the comics because Richard played nothing like he did. Ezekiel was just like he is in the show. Spoilers. Right. If you haven't read the comics and you want to read the comics, tune out for about the next minute and then come back. In the comics, Ezekiel is the same way he is in the show. He's very let's to battle, and he's all revved up, and they go to battle and they get outnumbered, and then Richard gets killed, and it basically makes Ezekiel just completely rethink everything. Like he's doubting himself, and I think a certain other thing gets killed in that same scenario.
He said thing.
Yeah, obviously you don't know what I'm talking. But
talking about Lucille the Bat,
right? Absolutely.
Killed, yeah.
But I mean, it makes him rethink. In the show, Richard didn't take that route. Richard was. I don't even know why when they do that. Why they even bother giving these characters the same name? Give Richard Jerry's name and give Jerry Richard's name, and then let Jerry be. You know what I'm saying?
So confusing.
I mean, because Richard in the comics was his right hand man, and he died beside him in combat, and it just made Ezekiel rethink everything. Whereas, now we pretty much had Richard go kamikaze, and then now Jerry, which we love. Jerry's all jolly and got that big axe, and he swings it well. But I feel like he'll die because he's all jolly and happy and just blindly follows Ezekiel no matter what he says, and he's going to see the results of his leadership, and these people follow me, and I just got my happy jolly friend dead. I liked your body language
when you said jolly and happy.
Right? Yeah.
You really no. Your arms went up, man. That was you looked really jolly.
I was
happy.
just in the zone, man.
You were jolly and happy.
I love that opening Ezekiel line. What was it? We will find him. We will end him, and we will complete this thing that we have started, or something like that. It was really good.
My favorite Ezekiel line was "Fake it till you make it, baby."
When did he say that?
He said that to Carol. When they, because he was saying, "Oh, I wrote it down when I heard it." I was like, "That is probably my favorite line on the show." And the one person whose line delivery I haven't really been a fan of, I just don't, I don't like how it takes it. But that was fun. That was really fun.
More Alfredo.
Because Carol just kind of looking at him. That's fun. Okay.
It was a nice batch of Alfredo.
I bet it's usually. Well, where was it from?
Well, I don't make my sauce like you do. I'll admit it.
Okay.
But it was still tasty.
All right. Well, no, where was it from? What kind was it?
It was the Bertolli or whatever.
Okay, that's
not
pretty
half
good.
bad.
As long as you didn't say ragu.
No.
But so Tara and Jesus, I was so happy as a fan of the comics. I was so happy to see Jesus have his badass martial arts moment, because the whole time he's got a gun to his head. I'm like, dude, Jesus in the comics would have been broke this dude's wrist and head-butted him in the nose and flipped him, and I'm like, oh, do something, Jesus, because I really do like Jesus in the show, and when they first cast the guy they casted, I'm like, well, he's a little small, because in the comics he actually makes a reference to how skinny Rick is. He's like, wow, you're this 120-pound guy and people follow you. You must be a badass. And so at first I was like, well, why do they cast some little guy? But then as I've seen him, I like him in the show. I think he's a good actor, and I like how he's playing Jesus. But I have been disappointed that we've only seen one or two martial arts moments from him, when he, one of them was zombies. And so when he, flipped this guy and all, took this guy's leg out and everything when he had the gun to his head, I was like, yes, Jesus here to kick some serious ass.
I don't think they'll ever do like where it'll be like a martial arts film where they'll let him like.
Oh, well, they don't do it like that in the comics. That's not what I'm talking about. In the comics, it's just moments throughout the comics. Like, it's not nonstop kung fu, but I mean, like, again, just like in this scenario, if someone had a gun to his head in the comics, he would just do his thing and, like, leg sweep them and take them down. Like, he would drop kick people in the comics. So I'm just glad that they, I hope they'll start having little moments, because he was never like a nonstop, like, fight scene, but it was like with Negan. He had an awesome scene in the comics where Negan, like, goes to swing his bat and Jesus, like, catches the bat in his hand and then pops Negan in the face with his own bat and then, like, swoops around him. So, I mean, Jesus...
Jesus catches the bat, like, with the barbed wire and everything on it?
Yeah, Jesus has a glove on. So he's just, like... And, I mean, Negan doesn't get, like, a full swing. Negan kind of, like, goes to do it and he just grabs the bat and just, like...
I do remember that.
I don't know if Negan was necessarily in full swing, but, like, Jesus just jumps up. And it might have been he grabbed the bat before he really got to swing it. But, I mean, it's probably one of my, like, top 5 favorite moments in the Walking Dead comics ever. It just established how badass Jesus was. Right. So I'm glad to finally start getting more of Jesus just being like, I feel like right up until this point, some of his role has just been to kind of brush his pretty long hair back and just be like...
It is very... what does he use for conditioner?
I don't know. Something good.
Whenever they go out on supply runs, like, see if you can find any conditioner.
Do you have any Pantene Pro V? Head and Shoulders, the dandruff and the after.
Tara's really pissing me off this episode.
Yeah, she's. I said at the beginning of the episode, I was like, Tara's slowly become that character that nobody cares about. I mean, kill her off tomorrow. It's like, oh no, Tara died.
That'd be really weird because it's a Tuesday tomorrow. So if they played Walking Dead on Tuesday, I'd be fine with that.
For the Tara haters, they'd be like, dude, awesome.
That'd probably be one of the most viewed episodes.
Yeah.
But so you're in Camp Jesus, like take prison if they surrender, take prisoners, but otherwise kill. I mean,
I don't know, man. That's such a tough place to be in because yes, initially that's what I would like to say is if they put their hands up and they surrender, that's what I mean. At what point do you not draw the line between you and the saviors if you're just mowing people down, regardless of what place they're in? Because you got to think. Rick and them, even though they heard the saviors were bad guys, Rick and them just rolled in and started mowing down the saviors before the saviors ever messed with them, really, other than that whole Daryl and Abraham bike thing. Remember when they... But, I mean, it's like... so I agree with Jesus. If they do surrender, you do take them prisoner. But at the same time, I can't guarantee that you keep them alive because, I mean, a lot of these people will stab you in the night. If you'll never be able to integrate them into your society, most likely. People won't trust them, but... Then again, he does capture a prisoner, and it just goes to show Tara was sadly right the whole time.
And now they've got like 8 prisoners. How
they
many
got a lot out there.
Yeah, they got
dude.
a lot now,
including the guy that got Benjamin killed.
Yeah,
and there's a big gray area between Camp Jesus and Jesus Camp.
Oh yeah,
big gray area between those two things.
Acapella Jesus Camp by Tenacious D.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
Anyway.
But yeah, so and then when he made a very false statement when he said when he was like, "Do you know how hard it is to piss your own pants?" No, I don't think that's hard at all. I mean, I had to pee so bad last night.
It's like your dick knows you have pants on, which. First of all, you're implying that
maybe my dick is just weird because I'm pretty sure I have to stop my dick from peeing in my pants when I have to pee really bad. I'm like, don't.
Maybe that's what he's saying. He'd have to pee really bad. He just, he was just there. So let's try it. Oh, no, I was going along with that. I'm sorry.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure it wouldn't be that bad. But so I don't know, man. I don't like Tara. I wouldn't mind seeing her go.
Yeah, let's.
Who was that girl that was with Eric and Aaron and them? The one that ended up getting shot. Like she was like one of the ones leading the charge. I've seen her before, but I don't even know where she comes from off the top of my head.
And the chick who got bit in the throat and killed, that was one of the saviors, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she was the one from the beginning that sent the guy inside.
Yeah,
what was he doing? I don't understand what he did that she didn't like. At the beginning of the episode, she sent the guy inside.
Oh, I don't know. He was like working on something and I missed that too. She asked him some question. I guess she didn't like his answer. And then she just was a douche to him.
I kind of blank out the first 10 minutes of the episode, which we'll get to that a little bit later. But I just, it takes me about 10 minutes to get going.
Right,
in the show.
Yeah, it was, I don't know, man. Like I said, I liked the episode, but I mean, I do feel like it was a action-packed episode, but yet it still kind of felt slow at the same time. Like, I mean, story-wise, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, because it don't matter. It's all opinion-based. I mean, some people will be like, I thought it was an amazing episode, and the action and the story were amazing, and then some people will be like, I'll
disagree with them every time.
But yeah, I don't know, man. And a little bit of a reality check for Rick, though, killing the father of a baby.
Might as well just kill the baby.
No.
It's another mouth to feed. It's going to be an orphan. What are they going to do? They're going to raise it like they raise Lilith?
All right, Team
Judith,
Tara.
whatever. I can't even remember her name.
And not to mention, it's just like
I'm starting to get
Godfather
Tara's point of view
2.
now. Yeah.
I see.
If you kill someone, so you got to kill all the kids, because otherwise, eventually, they'll come seeking vengeance.
That is very true.
You know, Don Corleone taught us that.
That is true. Good old Donnie.
All right.
Speaking of that, we there was a clip for because we watched the Robot Chicken Walking Dead
Oh, man, I
special.
still
Watched it
haven't
the other
caught
day.
It was hit or miss.
Yeah,
some of
hit
the
or
things
miss.
weren't funny at all, and some of them were.
And
were
honestly,
clever,
there was
but
like one or two things that were really funny, and I forgot to write them down, and I don't even remember what they were now.
the one that you really liked was the Lucille one. What was it? Where Lucille was Superman? Like
Yeah,
Lucille's
that's it.
Parents sent Lucille.
Yeah,
to planet Earth.
Lucille is like baby Superman, and Jor-El and them send her to Earth, and then she catches the bullet. That's what was really funny. And then she got a cape and.
Yeah, so after she catches the bullet,
You
that
see what I'm
would've
saying
killed
about how it's
Negan,
hit or miss?
She flies up in the space.
And I like to think I'm doing a pretty good job of describing it. It was just not that funny.
No,
was all right.
it had its moments. It wasn't as hilarious as I had really hoped.
It was more kitschy with the fact that it was all these different voices.
Yeah.
Oh, and the whole like I'll find you, like Glenn, I'll find you. that was pretty
It's
good.
like living with Glenn after the Negan attack. Maggie's like, we do a lot of hide and seek.
That's
and then
really
he's like,
funny.
I'll find you.
And then what is it? Maggie has the baby, and it comes out, and it looks like Glenn's
Yeah.
smushed in face, and it's like it's a.
Oh my gosh!
no.
Yeah, it was hit
Well,
or
it's
miss.
Glenn's.
It's worth watching, but it's not like it honestly wasn't as good as I was hoping it was going to be.
If you illegally download it, I wouldn't blame you. I don't
a good one.
illegally download something, but if you did, I'd be like, well,
Okay.
whatever.
I will.
I don't blame. Yeah, I could get down with that. You have Adult Swim, don't you?
I'm
You swim with
Sure.
adults?
no, only with children.
Oh boy. So
But
I've told you. All right, Kevin Spacey.
now look, it was a drunken moment of indiscretion.
yeah, like this is how far I know we're getting.
I've
This is how
loved
far we've
men,
gotten.
I've loved women.
Yeah, he
you
was
know.
just like, "Hey, I'm gay. Deal with it." He's like, "Whoa, hold on. You don't detract from the fact that you touched a kid. What just happened?" He's like, "No, but I'm gay." And then everybody's like, "Oh, okay. Well, he's gay, guys. It's okay."
I mean, dude, he's gay.
that was. I mean, he went
No,
like
it
it was
was-
going one way, and he took it a completely different direction.
It was a smart distraction because it's like, you know, celebrities coming out of the closet. It's a big deal right now. So basically, it's like, I hear that you tried to rape a 14-year-old boy. I'm gay. You're what? Oh my God! And then it's just like, you know, a year from now we're gonna be like, wait a minute.
It's
and I thought everyone knew that because he never, he never
Yeah, but it's
announced
no-
it. But
yeah.
I thought it was no secret that Kevin Spacey was gay. Whatever.
Just now that it's out in the open.
I went and saw Jigsaw yesterday.
Did you love it?
Yeah, and then I watched this episode of The Walking Dead, and like people's necks getting bitten out and heads blown off and stuff. I am very desensitized to this shit. Like, seriously.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the things that happen in that movie, and it's not a good movie. It is not a good movie.
We were talking
at
about
all.
that earlier on the radio. I had JP on doing Movie Monday, and I was talking about. I was like, dude, after the first three, I think they just kind of went downhill. I mean, they actually had a story in the first three, and then it just was like, how brutal can we make these traps and keep this franchise alive and keep making money?
Did Danny Glover come back?
I'm not at liberty to say.
Oh boy, was he Jigsaw all along?
All along.
Oh, man.
How was the laser head trap? Was that cool?
I mean, it was like it was probably like a 5.
Was it like Resident Evil? Where,
They
like, the
set
lasers
up
went
because
through
only
them?
because I saw it in the trailer, but they set up for it at the beginning of the movie. And it was really weird because they're doing like it's in the morgue or whatever, and they're doing the autopsy on the guy, and they use this little laser cutter to cut off this chain. And I was like, what? So I guess to show that we're in the future, I don't know, but I've never. I mean, it was just a laser that she used to like cut out some skin and
Right.
stuff. So they set up early on, hey, this is a technology that exists, so we can use it later. And that's one of the actually scenes that stands out in my mind. The end of that, they spent a lot of CGI on that one, but it's a big factor into the movie. They try to make it's just I don't even want to talk about it, guys.
I don't have any desire to go see it.
I don't want. It's just not that good.
The first one was great. It had the great ending twist, that I never saw coming, and then the second one was really cool.
And it had Carrie Ewells, like Carrie,
yeah.
the guy from Robin Hood Men in Tights. It all comes around.
Oh, yeah, he
Well,
was
look at
the
that.
doctor, right?
Yeah.
The one that sawed his leg off. Man, I never realized that's who that was until you
Look
just
at
said
that.
that. And now that I think of it, as soon as you said it, I picture his face. I'm like, no shit, that's exactly who
Isn't
that is.
crazy? Did anything else really happen in this episode? Of
Eric's dying, I'm assuming.
allegedly
Allegedly.
dying. He's taken worse shots to the stomach.
I mean, it was just straight up Alexandria.
Oh man, wait a minute.
That was gross.
Oh.
So what were you saying?
Alexandrian drive-by.
Okay,
I mean, like they're just
that
sitting there
sounds like
working.
a
And it's
sex
just
move.
like, boom.
You got yourself an Alexandrian drive-by.
Dude, she totally walked out on me when I started to try the Alexandrian drive-by.
Can me and my friends get a bunch of hilltop colonies and an Alexandria drive-by?
I need to get somebody to come over and help me clean up. We had a big old Alexandrian drive-by last night. Yeah, I don't know, man. They just rolled up and started unloading, but it just doesn't seem like it was that well planned of an attack.
No, not at all.
It was just like, I know where they are. Let's go shoot them.
I wanted one guy in the background, like, what do I do? Like, that's his arms out. I don't know what to do.
Guys, you said we were going to get ice cream.
That's
Why
funny.
are we shooting at people? Yeah, it just didn't look that. I mean, it's like in so Rick and Daryl, I guess they're at the sanctuary. Is right? Is that where they were? Because wasn't Daryl looking at like the room that he was in?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't like Rick. Like if these guns make it back to the sanctuary, then they'll clear out all those walkers, right?
I don't remember that.
I'm not gonna lie, the logic's starting to get just a little fuzzy.
Like there were so many people in so many locations. I was very confused last night. I wish I had rewatched the first episode, but yeah, I thought that like they were in this place, and Rick was like, you know, we got to find these guns. You know, and they went to the 4th floor, and it's like if the Saviors find these guns and they make it back to the sanctuary, they'll clear out all the walkers. So I don't know.
So they were trying to stop the Saviors from getting guns.
And taking them back. That was what I was thinking. I could be wrong. I don't know.
you could be.
I wish I could like watch the episode twice before we do
Yeah, I
this,
really do. I wish that. I mean, like the whole when we do these
So
podcasts,
much
we want to
going
get them
on.
out as close to the episode as we can because they'll just get lost in the sea of Walking Dead YouTube discussions.
Right.
But at the same time, I mean, I really could use like 2 viewings of an episode, like to watch it that night and then to watch it the next day before we actually like while it's fresh in your mind.
Yeah,
But
like one episode to enjoy and the next to analyze.
y'all start
you know?
paying us to do this podcast, and we'll have the free time to make that happen.
We should do like
as
a
of right now.
GoFundMe.
Were you looking at JP and I?
No, I'm
To
talking
tell
about.
you to pay us? Oh,
Yeah,
you're
I
talking about
was
the
hoping.
listeners.
I was hoping.
Why doesn't everybody just chip in? That's what they do for NPR.
Yeah.
They're doing okay, right?
Do we have any tote bags to give away?
We can make some.
Yeah, we could make some.
I definitely want to
Just get a
start
bunch
doing
of
like some
food line bags
T-shirts or
and just
something to
spray
give
paint
away.
them. Yeah.
I think the listeners
Oh,
would
that'd
love
be
that.
nice.
Yeah. I think what we might do for this either maybe season finale or mid-season, probably season finale, giveaway is to give away a copy of the Here Comes Negan.
Oh,
which
boy.
Is the,
Oh.
I still haven't read that.
Can I
Yeah.
enter that?
No.
Oh, okay.
But you can go next door to the comic shop and buy one. In
Ah.
fact, one of us needs to so that we can give it away. But we'll do that, and then we have that sweet Negan bat that we
Sweet
never gave
Negan
away.
bat.
We never gave it away. It's-
Alleged Negan bat.
It's only
Legend.
because
Can't-
you dipped it in molasses.
We're
That's
not.
why it's so sweet.
And it's so sweet. Oh man.
I just wish I could like remote view into your head for just a few minutes.
I don't know, man. That's not something I would wish on my worst. That's like something that you do to serial killers to punish them. Instead of giving them the death penalty, you upload them into JP's brain.
I bet like
What?
if remote viewing's real, you know, people that can like sit back and remote view, they would be like, dude, I was just in the head of a major LSD user. Like the shit that I saw.
I
in
wouldn't
that
say
head.
major. I mean, you know,
Minor.
And then like you zoom out of his mind, like all the crazy shit they're seeing, it zooms out, and he's just like sitting on his recliner staring at the wall, completely sober.
Imagine it's just like episodes of Care Bears and grisly murder scenes.
I never watched Care Bears. that cartoon
My
Gargoyles.
Little Pony, bro.
Yeah, right. Gargoyles is good too. Though.
Yeah, that was a good
That
one.
was a good one.
I'm trying to think before we go to the comments section. What was there anything else that we need to really discuss here? Jesus and Tara separate.
Yeah.
I feel-
disagreeing.
I
on,
take
you know.
back everything that I made fun of about Morgan's BMX armor because obviously it works.
Right. Stops bullets.
Yeah.
Apparently on The Walking Dead, bullets just do not have any penetration power. Like they don't split bats, which someone could argue the barbed wire wrapped tightly around the bat can help keep
Penetration
it from
power,
splitting and
yeah.
all of that. But nonetheless, I'm just saying, for the sake of argument, bullets, yeah, so I don't
Bullets
know, man.
are great for
I don't know.
shooting things.
I'm trying to think. So Ezekiel's very confident going out of this episode.
Yeah.
I really do think like it's the setup. Like Ezekiel's a little too confident. He's going to lose a lot of people, and it's going to really make him rethink his whole role as a king.
Pride cometh before the fall.
We'll find out Gabriel's.
Fate, hopefully, next
Fate, yep.
episode. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm trying to think. So we've got a bunch of prisoners that are getting ready to head to Alexandria.
Going to Camp Jesus.
Rick's in quite a bit of a pickle. I guess we could call him Pickle Rick.
Oh boy,
There it is.
There it is.
I love Rick and Morty so much, but man, that's been overused. But anyways, but no, Rick is held up by Morales. That's how. I hate to sound mean, but like I just don't really care that he wasn't an impactful character. Now you have like the governor come back or Lori, and I'd be like, "What the hell?"
That would be very confusing too.
You know, but I mean, bring T-Dog back, I'd be thrilled.
Oh yes,
I'd be thrilled,
100%.
But I mean, I don't care about Morales. I mean, he was just a very very little line character who was just kind of there to fill space, and then they separated. And when they left for the CDC, he's like, "I'm going to take my family elsewhere," and now it's like he's back.
Yeah, it's kind of forced, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, I'm sure out there someone's like Morales, yay! But yeah, other than the fact that it's kind of nostalgic to see a season 1 character on this, I really don't care. If like this next episode, Rick was like, "Bye, Morales," and just blew his head off.
That would be
like,
really, because it ended with like the click, right? Like the guy, he pulled the hammer back. So it'd be really funny if the first 2 minutes of the next episode, Rick grabs the gun, boom, just shoots him in the head real quick.
We really need to start doing sketch comedy to make fun of The Walking Dead. 'Cause I just thought about it last night. Carol had a gun with an external hammer, you know, and like on The Walking Dead, they just go overboard with those cocking sound effects.
Yeah.
Like just way beyond some other shows I've seen. Like Carol pulls the gun up, doesn't like touch the hammer or anything. It's like, and then like, you know, she shoots, and then it showed her point the gun at another zombie. Go back and watch it. You can hear the gun cock again.
Yeah.
And then like, she's not like The Walking Dead. It'd just be funny as hell to just put a cocking, like I bet like the people that run their sound department, you know, they're like filming their kids, like walking. Honey, she's walking, and then you just see it pick up a toy in here.
Anytime Michonne grabs her sword and like pulls it out of the sheath, it makes like that cocking
It's
sound.
like, stop putting cocking sound effects on everything.
That's so funny.
I've got a fever. And the only thing that's gonna cure that fever is more gun cock.
Rick, oh boy, that's a weird term. Rick's intense stare
Gun
at
cocking.
the end. They do this book, they do this book ending kind of thing where at the beginning, so you had everybody's like faces transitioning to each other,
Right?
And they did that at the end too, and I felt it was just a little too cheesy
On the nose.
I guess, yeah. It was just really, I don't know. It was like, oh, I get what you're doing. Like who?
He
whose
looks
idea
into
was
the
that?
mirror above the kid's cradle, and he's like, "Who am I? Am I Negan? Is
What was her
Negan
name?
Negan?"
Chloe is Negan.
I
Negan?
do, but you know, on the flip
Is
side, I do
Negan
like,
me and am I Negan?
I do like that they're bringing that into question, like what separates us from them in terms of, you know, the things that we've done and the you know, the way we've been to other
Jesus
people.
is
Love and compassion.
That's yeah. Well, basically, yeah. Like that's what separates them, and I think that's what he's trying to show Tara.
Yeah.
But if they throw those rules out the window, then
Yeah.
you know, which Negan
Nothing
does have a set of
separates
rules,
them,
but they
yeah.
all kind of
Rick's
benefit
doing
him.
Negan's doing what he thinks will keep people alive, as screwed up and skewed as it is. Rick is too, but it's also pretty screwed up. So, you know,
Does Negan really? Do we think Negan has the survival of his people in mind, or is he just more the survival of
I'm
him?
thinking that you will find out. I mean, because in the comics you find out that, like, I mean, as screwed up as it was, he really thought that what he was doing was keeping his people alive. And as much as it sucks to admit, until Rick and them came along, it kind of was. Like, he was, you know, not saying they lived the best lives, but he was keeping people alive through a very... It's like communism.
Yeah, how did Negan?
No, it's not.
In the comic,
It's not. Communism sucks.
He was
I'm
like,
just saying.
turn people into slaves. At least they have something to live for.
Right.
That was like
And
his
you
rationale,
give them structure and you give them rules. They play by the rules and they live. Whereas everybody just runs around in chaos and do what they, you know, people die.
Yeah, it's Woodstock all over again.
You know, so
Which one, the 69 or 99?
Yeah, both.
Okay,
at least I'm down to go to the one that didn't have Fred Durst.
yeah, that'd be the original one.
Yeah,
Man, they
that's
tried. I remember that. Like they tried and tried to make that happen, and didn't go well.
Well,
Did
that's what
not
happens
go
when you
well.
bring Fred Durst and Limp Bizkit
Yes,
to a
that's true. That is true.
Cannot stand Limp Bizkit. All right, so wrapping it up, going to the comment section, because last time was obviously the first one. We didn't have any comments. Tyrone's very happy that we're back. We're very, very...
Yes, thank you, Tyrone.
We're very happy to be back
I
as
think
well.
he's happy.
Yeah, I think Jeep says, well, there you guys are. I was wondering what the hell happened to you. The new guy Carl found by the gas station was Sadiq,
Sadiq, I think.
which I remember. He's in the Michonne game, actually. He was like out on the boat with her, and
Oh,
all of
wow.
that was where he was from. And he is in the comic, and so I mean, yeah, the game was a part of the comic continuity. So yeah, I mean, he was on the boat with her. But says that he came from Oceanside, and he's the one that told Rick about that place, not Tara. He has a romance with Rosita. Yeah, because that was in like the last issue of The Walking Dead. Or an issue or so where he was having that conversation with Eugene. Remember?
I haven't seen Rosita in a while.
That's right.
Yeah. I think she's out right now. They wrote her out at the moment because she had a baby, I think is what was going on. She said, Jeep says, where the hell did Rick and the gang get all the bullets? Last season they had 2 bullets to share between them all, and suddenly they have enough to shoot out every window in the sanctuary. WTF, and the fact that the zombies could keep up with Daryl on his motorcycle were the only big issues I had with the episode. Father Gabriel should have shot Negan in the face as soon as he saw him, but he probably won't because he's such a big pansy. And I really wish Maggie would have done the same to Gregory. As
well, it says pansy. I thought it said something else.
As soon as he stepped out on the balcony, my predictions for who's going to die this season: Eric, Shiva, Morgan, Simon, and Carol. We were talking about that, though. Carol's story could wrap up.
I think they're going to try to make Shiva this heartbreaking death because it's got to happen. It's going to happen. That's just what they do. I hate that they've become so predictable, but at the same time, yeah.
Hopefully they take out Gregory and Jadis also because I can't stand the sight of either one of them. Yeah, I think we can all agree. Jadis and Gregory are just the worst. But yeah, I agree. And then you talking about wasting bullets. Look at this episode, man. That was the shootout with Aaron and them. I know we were only shown sections of it, but it felt like the longest shootout.
Yeah.
Again, I'm sure if you put all the clips together, it probably wasn't that long. But it just because it was so spread out, it was like, oh my God, are they still fighting? I was ready to come back and one side be decimated, but apparently not. Matt, you want to take the next 2 comments?
So glad to hear you guys are back. Hi, Justin. Hi, Matt. Hi, JP. Live the podcast. Missed you guys.
I'm glad that you lived the podcast.
She lived the podcast.
Well, because it's about her, right? Because we talk about Michonne.
Well, thank you, Michonne.
Speaking of which, we didn't see Michonne this episode.
Oh, we didn't. And
I don't like it.
It's very weird when they can't fit. They've got so many characters and so many people now. They can't even fit some of these characters in a single episode.
I'm hoping that maybe next episode we'll see I do want to know. Don't leave me with 2 cliffhangers and no resolution here. But I'm hoping that maybe what they'll do is show maybe Michonne's off on some other mission, and maybe Rosita. Even if she was haven't had the baby, maybe they could just fit her in. Give us something. I hope they're not just sitting back going, all right, well. Rick and them have it. You want a beer?
Oh, jeez. Yeah, can you imagine if next episode takes place solely at Alexandria? It's just Carl and Michonne. Just playing board games and stuff.
The whole episode.
And we don't even see Negan again until the mid-season finale.
I'd be furious. I'd be like, dude, what are you doing? All right, Matt. This next
Reds fan.
You need to apologize.
Yeah, I do. Reds fan 1722 called me out. I thought that again, like I said earlier, I blank out the first 10 minutes of the episode, and apparently Jeffrey Dean Morgan is in the opening credits last season. I only went back a few episodes, so I don't know when they started that. Maybe they started that halfway through or something.
Right.
But either way, Reds fan 1722, you were right. I was wrong. I hope you recorded that. There you go. You can play this
now. It's on the internet
again.
forever.
You can make this your ringtone if you want.
JP, do you have the comments pulled up?
Matt, may I see your phone?
No.
Let me see it.
Oh, okay. There we go. You know how to work it? It's a touch screen, so you got to use your finger to scroll.
Go ahead and take those last 3, JP.
All right. YZY G43.
WYZIWYG.
WYZIWYG. Okay.
WYZIWYG, there you go.
Oh, that makes sense. Sure.
Mm-hmm. I remember that discussion of her name.
Remember what you see is what you get.
Sounding it out, it helps.
It does. Phonetics. Yeah.
Welcome back, heroes.
Oh, wow.
We're the heroes.
Wow.
I'm giggling like a little girl. Virtual hugs all around. I love a virtual hug.
I didn't think that's what you were going to say.
I definitely thought that was going somewhere else.
Yeah.
No, real hugs make me uncomfortable. You know that.
But yeah, right.
All right. Gage Waltner says, "Great to have you guys back. It's great to be back." And Savage Rick, I started checking out your podcast over the summer.
What?
Ooh, new listener. I like it.
Okay.
Glad you guys are still rocking. We are still rocking. Keep up the great podcast, fellas.
And who was that?
It
Savage
is
Rick.
Savage Rick. No listener. No.
Shout out.
Yeah, that's good.
It's a shout out.
We'll have to record that into a sound effect.
Yeah.
You got to do production stuff. You can help us with that.
Kind of my job.
But you did really good with it.
I feel like you're downplaying that.
Well, it really actually isn't in my job description. I just do it.
But it's good to see some old faithfuls back. It's good to have some new folks,
And side note, JP and I, for the station, went to the Martinsville race, and I took a friend of mine to be a camera operator. We were going to do some Facebook Live stuff, which didn't even really work out because the internet signal down there was so bad.
Yeah.
However, my friend wound up in a video that's gone viral now and been seen by like hundreds of thousands, if even 1 million people by this morning.
What's he going to do with all that fame?
I don't know, but it's so funny. So check this out. Basically, if you don't get into racing, number one, I don't blame you. Number two, it's like basically Denny Hamlin is this racer, and this other racer named Chase Elliott was leading the first, and he knocked him out the way, and a lot of people got mad at him. And so this fan tried to fight Denny Hamlin in the pits. And so like this dude's trying to fight, and the cops are hauling him off, and then here comes my polite little camera guy around the corner, is like, Denny, hi, I just want to shake your hand and thank you for. It's like he's had all the fans booing him. He's getting bitched at by everybody, and just had some big guy try to fight him. And then James is like, I just want to shake your hand and thank you.
That's what he needed. He needed that morale booster.
And somebody commented in the comment section, I guess, was mad at Denny and said, commented on one of the Twitter videos we were watching and said, look at the redheaded suck up coming up to Denny Hamlin. I told James, who doesn't even have red hair, I was like, that's now your new nickname, the redheaded suck up.
But on the plus side, at least no one will know who he is in public, because they're going to be like, you're that redheaded suck up from that video. Obviously, sir, I am not.
Yeah. If you don't want that fame, just be like, blonde hair.
Yep.
The driver looked so just confounded when he shook his hand.
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, it's just odd. Like, I got one guy that wants to fight me, one guy thanking me for bringing a race. So.
If your friend had looked at the crazy fan and just been like, catch me outside, how about that? He would probably be famous right now. If he had to throw out some crazy catch line.
Yeah, like a Newark, something, like zippity doo-dah, I'm going to crap on your face.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, that always gets him.
Yep.
But, so that's cool. Slightly involved in a viral video this weekend.
Yeah, and it happened like right after I left.
Yeah, JP leaves, and within 10 minutes, like it's just going crazy.
I had to beat that traffic, babe.
I don't blame you.
Well, you're
don't call me
left
babe.
in the dust, bro. You're gonna make your own viral video now. Now you should go and like try to punch Denny Hamlin.
Yeah, I definitely will.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Just don't do it when you're wearing like station logos.
Yeah.
All right, so that's going to wrap it up for our second episode of this season. We've got to rate it before we go. Let's start with Matt.
7.
We're going to go low and work our way up.
7. I get it. 7. It was better than last week. I said 6.5 last week.
I'm going to give it a 7.5.
Okay.
I was sitting around a 7 too. On it, I think I would have enjoyed it more if I wasn't so confused, which was because like I said, I needed to rewatch or whatever.
They're gonna have to do something. Like I'm not as like you guys enjoy the comics. You've been following it from the beginning, and I don't know. They're just gonna have to start doing something really good and unique for me to not feel like it's a chore to watch this show sometimes.
Right.
Like I sit down and just like, all right, what's going to happen this week? They really need to just like do something to get people back into it. Because I know I can't be the only one that feels like that.
It's coming, man.
How do you feel, listeners? I want to know.
Let Matt know.
Unless you're a Reds fan, you're not allowed to comment anything ever again.
So what do you feel? Do you still enjoy The Walking Dead? That's
kidding.
a good discussion in the comment section. Do you still enjoy The Walking Dead as much as you did? Do you have, what's your complaints? Or do you agree with Matt and you just get to the point where it sounds like it might be coming off of your watch list after a while?
I mean, I'll keep watching it because we're going to do this podcast and I want to keep up with the show. And it's still a popular show by all means. I'm just... I don't know, man. TV in general has really been irking me. Like this new season of The Flash has been good, but at the same time, the writing is just...
Yeah,
there was this really good article someone wrote about how all of the CW shows, they have no stakes anymore.
Right.
Like, think about it. Like, Barry has saved the world how many times? Arrow, like, the whole city knows he's the Arrow now, and he's the mayor. Legends of Tomorrow have literally broke time and fixed it.
Right.
Like, they where are they supposed to go from here? You know,
right.
So they can't keep it. It's just the same thing with a lot of other shows.
Well, one thing I can say is I'm halfway through Stranger Things 2, and I've really been enjoying that.
I see you wore your Stranger Things 2 costume today.
Yeah, I sure did. I'm
just
11.
Jeans and a hoodie, but still.
And
I get it. 11. Yeah,
I don't know.
You do. Yeah, you're just as pretty.
Yeah, I know.
There was
my hair's growing out.
There was a sexy 11 costume.
Yeah, that was all kinds of
and
wrong.
that is. Have you seen the one where the big black dude's dressed as 11 though? That shit is awesome.
Oh yeah,
because he was like, my friend went as 11, and then you click on it, and it's spot on. He had the dress and the Eggos and everything. So
nice.
How he found a dress that size.
Yep. So
they're
JP,
called moo-moos.
Oh, they're called moo-moos, right?
What's your rating? I don't think you really gave us a rating.
Cows.
You can give the same rating as someone if you want. It's okay.
It may be. Let me rewatch, and I may give a revised rating next week.
Yeah, I could say that because I was tired. We had a long day at the Speedway.
Oh well, no. Then I take my rating.
No, you're stuck.
We'll give temporary
you can't
ratings,
do that.
and then we'll revise them next.
Just throw me out there to the Sharks.
No,
to the Shivas.
No, to the Barracudas at
Bless
best.
you.
Thank you.
But and one quick correction earlier when you mentioned Jesus Camp, I brought up a Tenacious D song. That song is actually Jesus Ranch.
Yeah,
so,
I was talking about Jesus Camp, the documentary movie.
That's another really good.
But I think we were on the same page.
Yeah, but I just wanted to. I didn't want to get crapped on.
We could have talked about that later. Oh, that's true. Because you didn't want them to.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Whew, glad you cleared that up.
Yep.
Justin, back to you in the studio.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up. I'm Justin.
Hey, I'm Matt.